the memory fear that controls everything. Helen stands at her mailbox on Tuesday morning, staring at the woman walking toward her with a friendly wave. The face looks completely familiar. The smile is warm and genuine. This person clearly knows Helen well, but Helen's mind goes completely blank when she tries to recall the name. She's lived next door to this woman for 20 years, but in this moment, Helen can't retrieve her neighbor's name from the filing cabinet in her brain that seems to have developed a faulty lock. The panic that floods Helen's chest isn't proportional to forgetting a name. Everyone forgets names occasionally, even young people. But for Helen, this moment represents something terrifying. She smiles and waves back, hoping the conversation stays brief so she won't need to use a name she can't remember. Her heart pounds as she wonders if this is how dementia begins, with familiar faces becoming nameless strangers and 20-year relationships dissolving into awkward encounters with people she should know but suddenly doesn't. Normal, age-related. Memory changes create anxiety that far exceeds the actual impact of these changes on daily functioning. Helen's brain processes and stores information slightly differently at 76 than it did at 46. Names, dates, and specific details require more effort to retrieve. Multitasking becomes more challenging. New information takes longer to encode into long-term memory. These changes are normal parts of aging, similar to how reading glasses become necessary or how climbing stairs takes more effort. But Helen experiences each memory lapse as potential evidence of cognitive decline that will eventually rob her of her identity and independence. Helen's daily routine now includes constant memory testing and self-evaluation. She quizzes herself on recent conversations, trying to recall exactly what her daughter told her about her grandson's school project. She reviews her grocery list multiple times, testing whether she can remember all the items without looking. When she watches the news, she challenges herself to summarize the stories afterward, checking her recall accuracy. These mental exercises consume enormous amounts of energy and create anxiety when her performance doesn't meet her expectations. The hypervigilance extends to monitoring other people's reactions to her words and behavior. Helen watches her children's faces during conversations, searching for signs that they're concerned about her mental sharpness. She analyzes their tone of voice for patience or condescension. When her son asks her to repeat something she said, Helen interprets this as evidence that her speech was confused or unclear. She second-guesses her own perceptions and memories, constantly seeking verification from others about events and conversations. Fear of dementia affects seniors widely, often creating more daily distress than actual memory changes. This fear operates independently of cognitive function, meaning seniors with excellent mental abilities experience as much anxiety as those with genuine memory concerns. Helen represents millions of older adults whose fear of memory loss has become more debilitating than any actual cognitive changes they're experiencing. The irony of Helen's situation is that her fear of memory loss leads to behaviors that actually increase her risk of cognitive decline. She withdraws from social activities because she's afraid of embarrassing herself by forgetting names or losing track of conversations. She stops reading challenging books because she worries about not remembering plot details. She avoids learning new skills because the initial confusion and mistakes feel like evidence of cognitive failure. The mental stimulation that protects brain health gets eliminated in service of avoiding situations that might reveal memory problems. Helen's social withdrawal accelerates when she starts declining invitations to book club meetings, bridge games, and family gatherings. Each avoided social interaction reduces the cognitive exercise that comes from conversation, problem-solving, and relationship maintenance. Her world contracts as she chooses safe, familiar activities over stimulating challenges that might expose memory limitations. The isolation that results from this withdrawal creates depression and anxiety that further impact cognitive function. The exhaustion of constantly monitoring and evaluating her mental performance drains Helen's energy and enjoyment of daily activities. She can't watch a movie without testing her ability to follow the plot. She can't have a phone conversation without analyzing her word recall and sentence structure. Every interaction becomes a performance evaluation where she judges her cognitive adequacy. The mental resources devoted to this self-monitoring reduce the brain power available for actually processing and enjoying experiences. Helen's family members amplify her fears through their well-meaning concern and protective behaviors. When she mentions forgetting where she put her keys, her daughter's worried expression and immediate questions about other memory problems increase Helen's anxiety. Her son's suggestions about writing things down or using memory aids feel like evidence that he's noticed cognitive decline. Family members who repeat information or speak more slowly, thinking they're being helpful, reinforce Helen's belief that her mental capacity is obviously compromised. The impact on Helen's decision-making ability extends far beyond memory concerns. She postpones major decisions about her living situation, finances, and healthcare because she doubts her judgment and analytical abilities. She defers to family members' opinions more frequently, not because she lacks insight but because she's lost confidence in her mental clarity. Important choices about her future get delayed or avoided entirely as Helen questions whether she's capable of making sound decisions. The hidden tragedy of Helen's situation is that her actual memory function remains largely intact while her fear of memory loss controls every aspect of her daily life. She's created a prison of anxiety that prevents her from engaging fully with life, relationships, and activities that could enhance her cognitive health and overall well-being. Understanding the difference between normal age-related memory changes and symptoms that warrant medical attention can dramatically reduce anxiety and improve quality of life. Helen's occasional name retrieval difficulties and slower information processing are typical aging changes, not early signs of dementia. Recognition of normal aging patterns, combined with strategies for managing memory concerns, can help seniors like Helen reclaim confidence in their cognitive abilities and re-engage with life fully rather than fearfully.